We have an Infernoid player. Make sure you guys smash the crap out of this subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more content. So we have another case tournament here for you. This time, this was our 7 p.m. This is the later. So this is not Kashtira Purgatory, though. There were 2 Kashtira decks present in the top cut for this event, which is fine. I'm very happy to see through both of these events that Kashtira had a really dominating appearance out here, because having Cash prove that it was able to kind of do things out here, I think is good. Now, we have a Yubel player. Yubel failed in the first case tournament. Like, it was an absolutely horrible time for Yubel. You tried, though. Alright? I'm glad to see that you got a chance to run it back for the next event. We also had Labrynth out here. Hey! Speaking of Lab, you know, Lab has had some really cute interactions this format, but I guess people just choose not to really play the deck right now. It just doesn't really feel the most consistent. Oh, we also have a Snake Eyes player. Okay, so standard meta is as standard meta is. I don't really... That's fine, you know. We also had a White Forest Runick. I am actually very surprised to see White Forest Runick. To be fair, though, White Forest Runick versus Kashtira is already an incredibly weird matchup to look at. So that's interesting to see that, you know, that's what we had to see here. We also had Tearlaments. Now, Tear is a pretty standard deck. You'll see this deck show up every once in a while. You know, it depends on the player playing it. If you're able to kind of curve out the skill curve, set up the relatively strong board, you know, you're going to win. Like, that's just how Tier works. And then we also had, I think the most exciting thing about this event was we had this Infernoid player show up out here with this saucy variation of the deck. And I'm really happy to actually get the chance to see this because it's Infernoids. You know what I mean? Noids are one of those decks that you look at and you're like, wow, you know, like, this is exciting to actually see. So that is your breakdown for this event, and wow, that's amazing. Let's pass on over to deck list. So, winning our event was actually Kashtira. Wait, Robbie, didn't you just say that Kashtira ended up not being a major threat? No, I mean, like, I don't really consider Kashtira in this pool, like, one of the scary decks. It's cool that it had such a demeaning, you know, huge representation throughout the event, sure. The major things about this list, though, we had 2 Cosmic Cyclones so you could control your opponent, especially, you know, when you had White Forest Runick running around. You also are only doing 2 Theosis. I do see that, you know, cutting back on the Theosis for the consistency side of things was by far, I think, a correct call. You know, you want to make sure that you're able to reduce the craziness that your deck is going to have to deal with. And it's just one less brick, obviously. I don't know. I'm just be honest with you. Like, Theosis is still a good card, but it's just, it's one of those things you're like, huh, you know, like, maybe this doesn't get as much value as it did. I see we're citing 1 Dark Roller, no more. Well, when you have an extra slot, you know, you may as well play it, right? Like, there's absolutely no point to just not having it in there. So, okay. Ooh, our White Forest Runick build. Yeah, standard 3/3/3, and nobody's going to argue with this. You know, poor Stellar gets no hang time, but that's fine. You know, like, this is what you're going to go with. We're also main decking the Evenlies here. Good stuff. The Black Goat laughs, and we are playing triple copies of Woes of the White Forest. Okay, I see we're also side decking a Gozen down here. Hey, being able to deploy a little Floodgate against your opponent to actually, you know, try to ruin their day, I think is a good call. You know, you want that form of control, and this deck actually has that. Stupid Zapper Shrimp, why are you so good? We're also playing Tails of the White Forest. My friend was playtesting this deck. He was telling me, he's like, Tails kind of is not like the best card in the world, but I feel like you just need that search sometimes, you know. If not, it's going to bait a hand trap for you so you can continue to play the game. Like, you've got to think about it like that. It's that control aspect of things that's going to be worth playing in combination with this. So you can't really bum that down. So that's interesting. Okay. Our Infernoid player with a full Fiendsmith combo in here playing the Adusted Gold. Holy crap. We really went full speed ahead here with this. So even though, you know, you're doing all of the Infernoid stuff in here, which is fine, you got to keep in mind that you still need supplemental packages. Like, the Diabell Star stuff is still going to get you into the OSS. The OSS is still going to get you into, you know, Dankatron. Dankatron is still going to be the heart and soul of the deck. I don't care how you try to spin this. Dankatron is your deck, alright? So having the Fiendsmith stuff here on the side is fine. What I find interesting here about this is there is no thrust in this main deck, and I do not like that at all. I want to be having thrust to toggle into that grass looks greener. so that you can get to that search line, so you can, get the thing running. So I don't know how I feel about that, but it's a list. I'll take that. Some cool stuff. All right. Next up here we have Tear. Doing the standard 2 gold sarcophagus with the 1 hoppy and the triple M city. I don't feel like this ever really changes, Once you've got the deck perfected, you have no real reason to try to push things out here. Still playing the triple Mally. The bricks, man. The bricks. We'd be building the house out here with this, all right? So we are playing 1 Grief in the main, that's fine. 2 copies of Scream. I mean, you're playing 44, like 2 Scream I think is fine. And then there's this interesting little tech choice down here. We are playing 2 copies of Typhoon. Being able to just free activate this from the hand and punish your opponent seems pretty good. And then there's the Pilgrim Reaper, partner. Having the Pilgrim Reaper be the free mill 5 for you. When I first saw Pilgrim Reaper, post, destruction of the list, I was so happy to see this. This card is so cheeky. Like, good stuff to actually having this card be an assist for this deck. Alright, next up here, we also have Yubel. Wow, Yubel didn't even make top 4. Yubel really struggled out here this weekend. Yubel's like this deck, everybody's like, oh my gosh, like, Yubel is so strong. The reality of the situation is this deck is having issues everywhere, and people, I guess, are having a hard time trying to understand it. Like, the deck's good when it has to check an absolute power force in the room, but since it's been dialed back, you don't really have that level of, check. It's like Rogue just kind of eats Yubel up and does its thing. So when you bring down that ceiling, that's why you're seeing this deck kind of, having a hard time. I do see here, we are doing the Phantasmes in the main. All of the free power in the world for searchability. 1 Shavara still doing the full Unchained package. There's not a lot of creativity in here. I mean, everybody agrees you're going with the Abominable Chamber here. I do see it is kind of cute that they are doing the Chaos Summoning Beast in here as the 1 of, though, instead of just doing the triple Dark Beckoning. Okay. I also see here, hey, we are doing Labrynth plays with the Unchained stuff in here. Of course, maximizing transaction rollback. I will say one of the things I'm happy about to see with this list is we are not gassing to the floor out here and doing the simultaneous equation cannon stuff. I do like the equation cannon stuff, but it's just cheeky, It's just one of these things that you look at and you're like, wow, like, this doesn't really generate me too much advantage. I also see we are doing the different dimension grounds in here. 2-1 for the names, which is fine. Full furniture pieces, which is good. 2 copies of Black Go Laughs. I feel like 2 Black Go Laughs is correct. Black Gut's one of those cards, obviously. You have this stupid card depending on which mode you actually need it for. And hey, we are citing a Mudora and a Kildo. Hey, with the Shufflers are some incredibly ignorant cards some days, man. Like, they actually do you some good favors. Okay, next up here, we have standard Snake Eyes Kashtira, I see. So basically, the way that this build works is you're going to use the Kashtira cards, like you've been using these for the last couple formats, as these control pieces to kind of set up on the field, and then try to control your opponent, which is fine. And then, of course, hey, look, it's Book of Eclipse. Book of Eclipse, this card is really good and really underrated. Not in every situation you're going to find yourself, but considering the fact that the format's been dialed back a little bit here, a free blanket push down, and then you play through their board, I think is going to get you some good places here. Standard Diabell Star package in here. The fact you're also doing the Fiendsmith combo in here to go down. So we were also playing the Air Leader. That's kind of cute. Okay, well, I mean, I guess free level 6s. I guess maybe you don't want to waste the Necro equip, but I still think that making the Desiree is just absolutely correct. So, okay. And of course, the Silhat Rabbit with the Azarun in the main deck. Okay, incredibly basic stuff. And then our last list here is more Kashtira. 1 Ogre, 1 Moonlit Chill. Okay, we're back on the zombie world thing here. So our previous winner from the last event ended up getting dialed back here to 8th place, which is a little bit of a shame. How the mighty have fallen. Well, you still made double top 8. I think that's fine out here. Set rotation is definitely one of those cute gimmicky things. The triple sphere mode out here and control your opponent from overextending is absolutely hilarious. So, this concludes our double header breakdown for this. A lot of interesting stuff to kind of keep note of here, but our format's about to transition. That's fine, and I just wanted to wrap up some last little things. So leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I'll see your beautiful faces back here later today, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.